Scary things happen to all of us, but as long as there is someone selfless, ready to come to our aid, it's not so bad. An anchor line of a small fishing hut snapped, leaving a 19-year-old guy adrift for 49 days without food or drinking water. Eventually, he was rescued by a vessel that detected his distress signal. It's amazing that he managed to survive. A police officer detains someone when he began to choke. He gives the keys to the criminal he just arrested, who could have used this situation to his advantage. But instead of running away, he is doing his best to save the policeman's life. And finally, after all of this, he is ready to be arrested again. But the officer lets him go to show his gratitude. This race driver came off the track when he saw that one of his opponents was in trouble. Two carjackers wanted to bring GTA to life, but did not expect that everything will unfold in the worst way possible for them. These men spotted a woman stranded in her car as she was being swept away by floodwaters. They immediately jumped into action. A teenager detained at a police station called for help when he saw an officer collapse from a heart attack, despite the fact that the man was the one who arrested him. While this isn't the sinking of Titanic, it's a terrible catastrophe. A ferry carrying 459 people started to sink near the coast of South Korea, and the rescue team were frantically trying to save everyone. In the Chinese city of Tangshan, a woman and two kids fell under the ice on a frozen lake. The passers-by immediately formed a 60-foot human chain to rescue them. The mother and her kids did not sustain any serious injuries. A leisure boat became the saving grace for people stranded in a hot air balloon that ran out of fuel. Everyone from the balloon successfully boarded the vessel, and in the end, no one was hurt. But I doubt these guys will ever want to fly using that method of transport. And this is an epic rescue of a woman who tried to get a bracelet that fell into the toilet and then couldn't get her hand back out.
Oh my God.
A strong flood in China practically washed a woman and her daughter out of the house, but thankfully, the rescue team responded very quickly. Four people got stranded at sea 40 nautical miles away from the coast of Townsville after their boat capsized. They had to be rescued by a helicopter crew. When the owner of this parrot was found fatally shot while his wife was seriously wounded in the head, the police assumed that both people fell victims to intruders. But during the house search, the bird started to shout out phrases that led the police to a conclusion that the man might have been killed by his own wife as a result of a fight.
No! Shut up! Get your building now! Shut up!
This was the exact conclusion of the investigation, and thanks to this parrot, the woman was arrested and tried. A lesson on getting a talking bird. And this is yet another fan of breaking doors and getting chased away by a broom. This guy deliberately scared passing women, but his affinity for jump scares was diminished by an Italian man. This cash-in-transit driver managed to avoid robbery by ramming the perpetrator's car and dragging it for several feet. It's possible that this guy could have crawled over the finish line himself, and yet one of the fellow runners couldn't leave him hanging.
Sportsmanship. This is Mike McDade.
This driver's actions are much more valuable than winning any race.
His hand. See the smoke coming off. A nice guy. Thanks, bro. I owe you dinner now. Here, hold your bike.
It's hard to say what would have happened to this girl if it weren't for a dog who heroically chased the kidnappers away. This man was choking right next to his car, but another driver came to his aid right in time. This pickup truck overturned in a crash, and all of these kind men came together to help the driver even before the rescue team got there. These people are being rescued from the underside of a rock face where they ended up due to stormy seas, all because they were swimming in a place they weren't supposed to. A mountain lodge got buried under an avalanche, trapping more than 30 people inside. The firefighters quickly came to their rescue, freeing the lodgers from the snow prison. A man wanted to go for a swim in the Ganges River, but the flow was too strong. The man was saved by a brave police officer who wasn't deterred by the water. It took a whole lot of effort to get the swimmer out. And this was a complex rescue operation to save a woman from a mudslide in China. Due to a minor malfunction, dozens of people were trapped in cable cars 120 feet over Rhine. So the rescue team had to quickly and safely get everyone down. This man collapsed with an ischemic stroke. He was lucky that another man saw it happen and called an ambulance. This man had an unfortunate slip while climbing and ended up being trapped in a hill cleft for 45 hours. Meanwhile, the Indian Army, BMC, and National Disaster Response Force joined efforts to rescue him. While enjoying the views at the Sunset Cliff, young guys spotted two girls that were swept into the water by a strong wave. The girls were struggling to stay afloat, so one of the guys came to their rescue.
Yes! Woo! Oh no, that little...
A rescue helicopter landed in the mountain to save a skier with an injured knee. A large ship started to sink due to a storm in Hong Kong, and this is a rescue footage where the crew members are saved seconds before the vessel goes completely underwater. A 64-year-old man got buried in mud due to a landslide in China. It took the rescue team 5 hours to dig him up and take him to a hospital. A Boeing 737 crashed in the water near the island of Wino. Seeing the disaster unfold, the locals came to the passengers' rescue using their fishing boats. Thanks to heroic fishermen, all 47 passengers and crew were rescued from the plane, and no one was seriously hurt. Passers-by came to a driver's aid after a rollover crash. Once the car was flipped back, the driver was able to exit the vehicle himself. No one sustained any serious injuries. These two women are the school bus driver and monitor who helped save two kids during a strong flood. They came up with a genius solution to use several seatbelts tied together to stop people from being swept away by water. The rescue was successful and everyone managed to get to safety. A fisherman spent 11 days adrift in the Atlantic Ocean in a freezer. He nicknamed the kitchen appliance that kept him alive God. This man traveled 280 miles without food or water before he was rescued.
Other side! Other side!
A car crash sent this woman's car into the roadside river. Thankfully, she managed to call 911 and was quickly rescued, only sustaining a few minor injuries.
Is there anyone else in the car? Just you?
These motorcycle drivers helped the ambulance get through heavy traffic to get to its destination. This young man expertly caught a baseball, saving the girl next to him from impact.
Damage into the seats. And the young lady's very appreciative. That's my boy.
As he was boarding, this man's leg fell into the gap between the platform and the train. The other passengers and train station crew came together to help him. And this guy was unlucky enough to get trapped on the roof of a car during an extreme flood. Thankfully, he didn't have to wait too long to be rescued. It's good to have friends who know how to help when you're choking during school lunch. Both jockeys fell down, but instead of getting back on his horse, this guy stopped the opponent's horse and saved him from injury.
Bonnie, ты что, снаряд нашла?
This dog called Bonnie serves the Ukrainian army as an explosive expert. Just look at the number of bombs it detected in one day. A man stopped this pocket picker, and then a woman with a pretty good chokehold took over to punish the thief. This man tried to run off with the phone, but the store worker turned out to be well prepared. This loser thief tried to break in for so long that the police had ample time to arrive. This thief is having a bad day.
Swiper, no swiping! Oh man!
This man missed his bus by a few seconds, but thankfully a kind biker dropped him off at the next bus stop. This truck driver saved a family from a car caught in a flood. The man got out in the nick of time before the car was swept away by the water. Just look how many strangers united to save a person stuck under a car. This guy jumped out of his truck to catch a wheel before an accident happened and managed to catch it a fraction of an inch away from the motorcycle. Cristiano Ronaldo wanted to catch a tennis ball flying towards his wife, but it looks like he's better at handling a soccer ball. To rescue a swimmer, people from the beach formed several human chains and brought him to dry land. Several people got trapped on Mount Hood, including a few injured parties. A rescue helicopter was dispatched to help them, and it had difficulty landing on a slanted hill. Did you like this video? Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and you'll see more amazing content.